When you think of a wedding, you probably think a beautiful venue, an elegant dress, a huge cake, and a perfect romantic day. But what about zombies? So there's this show where grooms plan their entire wedding without their fiance's input. In a normal wedding, there's already a lot that can go wrong, but here, it's all up to the groom to get it right.
Great success.
On this episode of Don't Tell the Bride, we have Irish couple Nick and Sarah. They're described as two peas in a pod, and they've been thinking about getting married for a little while. Instead of just doing that, they've been waiting for the right time. The right time for them is signing up for a reality TV show. Nick and Sarah are described as a little bit different. Sarah is organized, takes control. She wears the pants in this house.
Nick isn't an organizer, really. He leaves everything up to me at home, so I don't even know how he's going to pull this off.
Whereas Nick is lazy and disorganized.
He's a disaster. I say to Nick, probably on a daily basis, you do know I'm not your mother, I'm your partner.
When it comes to their dream wedding, it's safe to say they're not really on the same page. Sarah has spent years planning the perfect day in her head, and now she has put all of her trust in Nick to get it right.
Which is very scary.
So it gets into it pretty quickly. They start planning the wedding. Well, I say they. Nick starts planning the wedding. His planning process is sitting there with texters and a bit of paper, and the first words he writes on this paper is
Halloween.
Halloween. A phrase that should never be used when planning a wedding. But none of that really matters to Nick. He justifies it with they love Halloween.
We love Halloween in our house. Kids love it. And I think it's definitely different for a wedding.
I'm not sure that's the best criteria for picking a wedding. So he starts considering what locations they could have this wedding in, and he's gone with
Forest, abandoned house.
So you can sort of see where this is going.
We can have some big special effect. One side of the face will be all glamorous and beautiful. The other face will be not so glamorous, maybe a big cut down it.
As I mentioned, Sarah has been dreaming of her wedding. And now Nick's gonna come along and make her wear face paint.
He's a great sense of humour, but I want it to be my wedding day and have a nice day and not be upset on my wedding day or not be like, oh my God, what's he after doing? Like,
it's not a good start.
He's unable to mask his excitement.
Bruh.
That might just be the most terrifying thing I've ever witnessed. This dark, dingy place with this guy dressed up in... What is that? If I was the groomsman showing up right now, I'd be very concerned for my safety.
Hello, lads. So, lads, Halloween wedding.
You know, if these were real friends, they would tell him, mate, this is the worst idea you've ever had. Go back to the drawing board, mate. You can see they look confused. They look scared. I mean, one, they're in this dark room with him wearing a mask, so fair enough. They say they are very worried for Sarah.
Worried for Sarah.
Worried for Sarah.
Very worried for Sarah.
Worried for Sarah, yeah.
I'd be worried for Sarah too. Look what she's marrying.
Sarah probably won't like us after, but
I don't think Sarah's gonna like us at all.
So the groomsmen have the emotional intelligence to understand that Sarah will not like this. But for Nick, it doesn't seem to be a problem. He just continues going on with the plan.
So I'm gonna start with the ceremony. We need to find a venue, we need to find a location. I'm thinking something that looks abandoned. This is where we came here, look at the wall, something like that, you know.
When I think of great wedding venues, abandoned always comes to mind. Aww. But again, these guys say nothing. They just go along with it. I'll be real. Nick, you got some bad friends, mate. They should be telling you right now that that is the dumbest thing they've ever heard.
And get a grip, mate.
So far, Nick has an idea. It's not a good one, but he has something. I'm not really a big fan of the idea of a theme. I think for your wedding, the theme should be wedding.
I think for your wedding, the theme should be wedding.
But Nick has a lot more to organize. Of particular importance is the dress. I would say for the bride, this is the most important part. And if I was Sarah, from what I've seen from Nick, I'd be very concerned.
Hands on top, come on, burn yourselves. Right, now, let's do this.
Of course, they need to go find a dress. So the show sends Sarah to go dress shopping. They go as a group to choose the perfect dress, as this is incredibly important for Sarah.
I want it to be my wedding day and have a nice day and not be upset on my wedding day.
Meanwhile, across town, Nick and his groomsmen are picking the actual dress Sarah will wear. I always think this part is incredibly cruel. She gets to go there, try on all these dresses, let her imagination run wild. Meanwhile, they have old mate and his dead shit mates picking a dress for her.
I haven't really done any of this before and I've got no idea what I'm doing.
I mean, it's not incredibly surprising. He doesn't strike me as the most intelligent bloke. In the beginning, they show Sarah cutting out images of dresses that she likes. He's obviously never looked at those cutouts or even considered what she might like, and now he's in charge of picking what she's going to wear.
These three lads on the hunt for a wedding dress for a bride in the early stages of pregnancy.
Do you think this guy is thinking about that right now? You think he's considering that?
So I heard somewhere as well, lads, right? White dresses are for virgins. These ivory things are for pregnant women.
So yeah, he has considered it. Please fact check this.
This is going to be in the photos forever. It's bad enough she's going to have a big cut coming down her face that I'll have to get at least from one side the photos are going to look good.
Old mate is completely forgetting that the only reason she would ever have a cut on her face is because of the decisions he's made. Mate, you chose this theme. She's going to look horrible, and it's your fault.
Good rap.
I love that area, yeah, that's very good.
The back is quite nice, like, isn't it?
Is it easy to zip down? That's the key, isn't it, later on, do you know?
Boys will be boys, right?
I love every part of the dress, to be honest. This is definitely 100% my dream dress.
This poor lady, this is so cruel. She's found the dress of her dreams.
I just love how I feel in it. I feel really pretty. I feel like a bride in it. And I feel this is my day and everyone is going to look and go, oh wow.
And meanwhile, her fiance is planning to put her in face paint.
Bad enough she's going to have a big cut coming down her face. I'll fuck this up on Goosed, and she'll let me know as well.
And of course, he picks a dress completely different to the one that she wanted. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the dress he picked is not bad. Somehow they didn't completely fuck it up. Like, yes, they didn't pick the same dress that she wanted, but considering his plans, there are so many worse options he could have picked. I was thinking he was gonna go for something that was like shredded, like ripped apart, like she just escaped, I don't know, ghouls or demons trying to attack her. He hasn't completely failed. He hasn't got what she wants, or the same color, the same style, or anything similar, really, but it's not horrible.
850.
850 sold. Done.
I know I said before that dresses are the most important part of the entire wedding, but you can have the nicest dress in the world, but it doesn't really matter if you get married in a McDonald's car park. As you remember, Nick wants something abandoned, and Sarah wants what normal people want, an elegant, luxurious, beautiful 18th century venue. She loves this thing. She thinks it's
Gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's so scenic, so romantic.
and it's what she's always wanted. Nick, on the other hand, he's got different ideas.
Time we walk the dogs in these woods.
So you could have a lovely chateau, or you could have the park where your dog pisses and shits. Oh, and it's not just that. He wants to make it spooky.
I think we can really make this spooky. We've got the aisle here. Natural aisle. Walk up, mum and dad walking up.
We've got the aisle. It's a bloody muddy path with sticks on it. And if that's not bad enough, he wants to make it worse.
Pumpkins, lanterns, cobwebs hanging off the trees. No, I reckon we can definitely make this work, man. I think this would be cool. And this is the romantic part.
This is the romantic part. What about this so far is romantic?
And then when we go to the reception, then we can go wild and go as Halloweeny and as dark as we want, because we've given her the pretty, lovely part.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. So we can go all out, make it spooky, make it dark for the reception, because we've given her the pretty part here. The pretty part. I think the real criminals in this whole story, it's not Nick. Like, yeah, Nick's an idiot and he's making horrible choices, but what are these groomsmen doing? They're in a park following along going,
Yeah, this is great.
pull his head in.
We're gonna have to rein him in a small bit, aren't we?
Don't know, is that possible though?
Is it possible?
Don't think so, no.
Right now, all he's got is the woods. It's not really the Halloween special that he was looking for. He and the groomsmen head to the Halloween store. There's been many points where a conversation should have been had, but especially when they entered the Halloween store, the groomsmen should have pulled him aside and been like, hey mate, this has gone a bit too far.
We're gonna have to rein him in a small bit, aren't we?
I don't think there has ever been a reason to go to one of those stores when preparing for a wedding. Now, I thought about it. There are none.
I always have to be the grown-up when it comes to Nick's ideas.
Have you ever thought, like, maybe don't marry this guy?
You need to leave.
Like he's a child.
Wedding day?
Wedding night.
Look, with all due respect, that is objectively funny. It's not the kind of guy you want planning your wedding, but he's a fucking comedian.
But on a serious note, there is loads of good stuff here, look.
And he's lost me again. On a serious note, there's good stuff here. Fangs, blood, and Halloween props. So he's got the props, he's got the ceremony location, he just needs a reception venue.
Sarah dreams of something romantic, elegant, and intimate.
When I think of elegant, romantic, intimate spaces, I think of dark, dingy halls, which are probably only ever used for school music recitals. That's not the vibe. That's not what she's wanting. It's not what anyone should want for their wedding, in all fairness. But again, he doesn't give a fuck.
Lovely. We're on. Thank you very much. Delighted.
We're just one day before the wedding now, and this is where it starts to get serious. Earlier in the day, he says that he's feeling a bit nervous.
Nervous now. It's kicking in a bit. I think after you start kind of making decisions and you've paid for stuff and it's all done, even though at the time you know that was the right decision, you do start questioning things after, which is I didn't think I would start doing, you know?
He says he's nervous and he's questioning whether he made the right call, but he's literally in the process of Googling special effects makeup. And he's gonna put that on his bride. Anyway, that night, they're setting up the venue, trying to make it look spooky, haunted, horrible, all the things that you want in a wedding. So of course, when you think of Halloween, you think of pumpkins. Now, I don't know what the fuck's going on in Ireland, but I thought they had pumpkin. This guy buys every single vegetable, and even a watermelon, except a pumpkin. And they plan to spray paint them orange to make them look like pumpkins.
Oh my God, bro.
That's got pumpkin written all over it.
No, it just doesn't. It's not even the right fucking color. They're red. It looks like a bowling ball. Anyway, these Muppets keep working late in the night, making sure that the reception hall is perfect for the wedding day. They've got the capsicum, they've spray painted them. I mean, what more can you really ask?
We're going to be here for another 3, I'd say. We'll be lucky to see 1 o'clock anyway, I'd say, by the time we get home.
But Nick says something that I can't believe that he would even dare say such a thing.
She better be fucking grateful.
What has she got to be grateful for? Getting married in the public park that you walk your dog in? The primary school musical hall with pumpkins? But that's really the least of Nick's problems. Earlier in the day, Sarah is shown the dress for the first time.
It wouldn't be a me dress at all, at all. I don't know how Nick would pick this and picture me in it.
It's so awful to watch. She's on the verge of tears. She's clearly heartbroken. She's had an image in her mind her entire life, and one day before the wedding, it's revealed that the dress she's going to wear is something that she could never imagine herself wearing.
Did you forget what I looked like over the last few weeks? Did you forget my taste? Somebody else's dress, not mine.
The damage has already been done. You can't unsee the thing that you've been waiting for your whole life being shit. Like, you just can't really change that.
I just didn't expect a veil. I probably wouldn't pick a veil.
I'm pretty sure that is something Nick could have found out. Given that she's got, you know, all the photos of wedding dresses that she likes, she's probably mentioned that she'd never want to wear a veil. But again, he doesn't really seem like the kind of guy that listens to that shit.
She better be fucking grateful.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
To be honest, it's not awful. Like, it's not a terrible dress. It's just kind of what happens when a groom picks an outfit for his bride without her involvement. And although she's not happy with it, I don't think he's completely shit the bed. That's still to come.
It's making me a little bit nervous about tomorrow.
Now it's the big day. For the women and the men in this case, it's time for makeup. I can't really imagine what it's like on your wedding day to sit down in that makeup chair and get ready, but I can imagine it's quite a mix of emotions. You're excited, you're nervous, but of course, as we all know, it's not quite the wedding that she would have imagined.
Prepare for the worst and hope for the best.
It's not really what you want to hear from your bridesmaid a couple of hours before your wedding. It's not really a phrase that should be uttered at all. It should be prepare for the best and hope for the best, because the wedding should be the best. In this case, it's going to be horrible.
I'm getting special effects makeup done. The lads have been done. This is going to make us a bit gruesome for the day.
And I love this bit. They're putting all the special effects makeup on him, and his kid comes around. He knows it's a shit idea. He's looking at his dad like,
You are a muppet.
but Nick still can't see that.
Shit's getting real, and I'm loving it. Holy fuck. Whoa! I didn't know it was going to be like that. That is class.
But now it's time for Sarah to have her makeup done. At this point, I'd probably be freaking the fuck out and being like, hey, don't do that shit. I don't want any surprises.
Where did he get this notion to get something on my head on the day of my wedding? Like, right on my forehead, like.
You can only imagine what she's going to say when she sees it.
Oh my God, he's dead. I'm going to kill him.
So at this point, you're probably thinking, how can it get any worse? Well, it gets worse when the car rocks up. I would assume normally you get in a nice chauffeur, get taken to the wedding, and you feel quite elegant. In this case, it's a Mitsubishi Lancer with red and white construction tape.
Bruh.
They've obviously used all of their budget on Halloween props and they've got nothing left. But as I've said multiple times already, it really just gets worse. This should not be a thing. There should be no zombie extras at your wedding. So the bride arrives, and as I imagine, one of the most special moments in your entire life, you walk down the aisle with your family. Of course, this aisle is the woods.
Great success.
This motherfucker, quote, Borat at his own wedding?
Great success.
Now, this is the first time they've seen each other in 3 weeks, so it's a beautiful moment. They kiss for the first time. It's their wedding day, but Nick, like always, finds a way to ruin that.
Yeah, let's do this.
Let's do this. They look like they're gonna rob a bank. What the fuck are they doing here? What is that mask in the back? This Hannibal Lecter looking motherfucker. This poor kid looks mortified.
Oh, that was brilliant. I'm so proud of Nick, like super proud. Like the woods, it was so lovely and it was just...
This is the worst part. The fact that she walks out of it happy. I mean, it sounds like I'm hating. I am hating. I wanted her to hate this because she should. It's objectively horrible. But she says she's really proud of him. Rather than just take the compliment, he does the Borat impression again.
Great success.
Well done.
There is no need for a Borat impression at a wedding. It doesn't matter how good you are. Standing up there with your wife on the biggest day of your relationship and going, "Very nice, I like," that should be a criminal offense. If anything, it should deserve firing squad.
Great success.
I'm just dumbfounded by how he got away with this. So they head to the reception. It's a spooky venue. It looks like a Halloween party for children. The drinks have rats and cockroaches in them. It's just not very pleasant, really.
Do you like our pumpkin? We had no pumpkin.
That's piss poor, mate. I don't know. I don't know how he gets away with this, really.
You can't keep getting away with it! You can't keep getting away with it!
There was a lot of thought and effort went into it.
It was.
And I'd agree. I would just argue the thought and effort went to all of the wrong places and in all of the wrong ways. I mean, the worst part for me has to be now they're all celebrating and having a great time.
Fabulous from start to finish. He did better than any of us could have pulled off, I'd say. Fair play to him.
They couldn't have done better if they tried. Even her parents are proud.
He did me proud. I'm delighted. You know, it's such a happy day for both of them.
Her dad should have fucking smacked him. When he walked her up the aisle, he should have got to the very end, handed her over, and fucking went to town on him.
Oh, wow!
I mean, her dad makes a good point.
And once she's happy, that's all we're asking for.
You know, as long as she's happy, we're happy. Again, I don't know how he pulled it off. She's dreamt about this day her entire life. She wanted an elegant, romantic, classy, intimate wedding, and he gave her none of those things. She's not going to have a single photo from that day without that shit all over her face.
Oh my god, he's dead.
Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked this different style of video, let me know. If you didn't, keep it to your fucking self. And if you want to see more videos, click that video right there. YouTube reckons you'll love it.